Hey, what's up, Brett? It's Brian Pfeiffer, marketingmeathead.com. I got Brett Dunn on the line. What's going on, man?
How's it going, dude?
I'm good, man. Good. So,
Good.
just a little quick introduction. Brett's a super affiliate. He owns a company called PPC Mode. You also have a forum, right, Brett?
Yeah.
You still active with the forum? And
Yeah.
then I am a two-time ClickBank Platinum affiliate, 2019, 2020. We're both running the campaigns right now, so we thought it'd be a good idea. I've always wanted to get Brett on my channel, and Brett has been a little bit quiet in the YouTube world lately, so he's got a couple of videos, one recently and then another one coming with this one, and then maybe we'll get him back into it because he's a really good YouTuber, and I used to follow him back in the crypto days when crypto was hot. And so I figured now that I saw Brett do a recent interview, I figured I'd ask him to come in on my channel, and here he is. So Brett, what are you working on right now as far as like campaigns and stuff go for the audience?
So, I mean, stuff that's working, it's really
Mm-hmm.
been Snapchat and the subprime niche. That's been very, very consistent for like a year and a half now. And it's the weirdest thing because every time there's an ad that you think is going to fail in terms of just being entertainment focused and not really hooking their attention, that's the one that does great. And the one that's more, pre-qualifying, not so hot. So Snapchat's a weird platform, but once you start getting stuff working, there's not many people on it at the moment.
Now, is your target market like I know the most of the people are 25 and under, correct? Is that the market on Snapchat? I mean, you do have a 25 to 35 range, but
Not so much anymore.
okay.
When Snap was first running ads, they wouldn't even allow you to target anyone over 35. Now they've expanded that targeting all the way up to 59 years old.
Ah, okay, got
So I
it.
think as they're growing, I think their demographics are definitely being more
Shifting.
favorable towards other types of verticals.
Interesting. Now that offer you're running, is it a what age range are you running in? I'm guessing people looking for a subprime loan or whatever, they're probably a little bit older, my guess.
Yeah, in terms of lead quality, it's a bit older, but really it's anyone over 21 with a job. So,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So,
Now, Snapchat approves that kind of offer. Like that's okay to run like a loan type of thing on Snap.
it's not necessarily loan, but yeah, there's credit card submits on there.
Okay.
There's all sorts of stuff. Student loan debt was a big one. I've seen people have kind of scaled that back recently because people got too aggressive. I was running student loans, but I don't want to touch it now because others are running it way too aggressively.
Were you
Um,
running a pay per call?
we Yeah, so we started out with pay per call because that's what we've seen a lot of people doing, and it started working, and then all of a sudden we just couldn't generate a call to save our life. So we went to data leads and used drips, and that was good because it allows you to capture their information and send them text messages to get them to call. So it still technically was pay per call, but
Okay.
really we were doing lead gen.
So lead gen, you're collecting like the email, first name, whatever, and then boom, you put them into like a drip campaign.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Interesting. My biggest campaign ever was student loan debt, but this was back in like 2016, 17 in on Facebook when they still
Very
allowed
nice.
it.
Yeah.
And I ran it all the way until they disallowed it, and then still a month passed when they disallowed it, and then they just annihilated me.
And
They
that's
knew.
probably when everyone moved over to Snap.
Yeah, they annihilated me. I mean, it was still profitable. Our heyday was that one summer. I think we had $100,000 month where we did $100,000 of profit in 1 month. So that was a big month. That was kind of like the campaign that kind of turned my finances around in life. You know, that $100,000 in 1 month just like got rid of all my credit card debt and everything. So
It's
what
funny
it
to
is
say that.
possible. I think there's
Yeah.
people out there that watch these videos and they're like, yeah, right. That it's not happening. Trust me, it does happen. Now,
Yeah.
do those $100,000 a month campaigns come around as often now? I don't think they do personally. You can run $100,000 a month in revenue pretty easily. That's not hard, but making $100,000 profit in a month is hard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's realistic these days in lead gen and stuff like that to see like a 50, even 70%, maybe 100% ROI when you really optimize something. But I don't think like the days of like putting up a campaign and seeing 300% ROI out the gate is like, those days are over, man. I haven't seen it anyway. If you get that, they're probably going to get shut down on some.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's either that the advertiser doesn't know their KPIs, so your leads are going to be crap and they're going to want to not pay you, or
Right.
you're on a brand new traffic source that has some sort of glitch or something. So there's always a situation. Like if you see that happening, be careful because I've also had situations where it looks to be like it's killing it, And then all of a sudden it turns around and it's like, oh, there was an error. That was all fraud traffic or something. You got to always be suspicious of that.
Yeah. Well, for a perfect example, that a campaign I'm running right now, I had, we're having like a tracking issue with the lead pixel. And yesterday morning I checked in and they're like, yeah, you have 12 leads. And my Facebook read 12 leads. So I'm like, okay, it's tracking properly. It's a miracle. It's fixed. At the end of the day, my Facebook said 29 leads and I only got 18 in the system. So what the fuck? What the hell happened to the other 10 leads? They was working fine earlier in the day. So right now I'm at 36 leads for today. I haven't checked my my back office, but I'm curious to see if it does that again. And if that does that again, there's got to be something shady going on behind the scenes. Because how is it? Because even this morning I checked and I was at 18 leads on Facebook, 18 leads in the system. So if I end up today with less than what I'm showing in Facebook, where are those leads going?
Is there a timestamp difference between the two reporting or anything?
I haven't dug into it far enough to see that how I can track this and see if there's an issue. But the fact of the matter is 10 leads just disappeared in the video yesterday and I didn't get paid on them. So, that's whether that's coming from the buyer side or not, I don't know. So now that I'm running a decent amount of volume, I have a little bit of clout with this vendor and I'm going to be like, yo, why is it tracking properly half the day? And then all of a sudden it doesn't track properly. That's shady shit, right?
Yeah. That's why I like lead gen with ping and post. So you basically put the leads in your own database.
Yes.
And then you ping them and they can't really, they can't really scrub or do anything. They either deny the lead or they buy it. So there's
like these leads in this particular campaign, they have to qualify based on income, like gross income. Like there's one of the questions is in the survey they got to go through. And I finally negotiated, like, listen, I know you guys are calling these leads even if they don't qualify. I'm like, you need to pay me something on these leads. So they're giving me like $3 on the ones that don't qualify. At least it's something. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So so I'm kind of going back and forth with these guys. I started out positive day one and then I went 5 days of negative, and I had a really bad day on Monday because they changed the geo on me Sunday night. So I went from Sunday in the green to negative because they changed the geo. I had to reset all my ad sets, and then Monday was terrible. And then yesterday I got it back positive through optimization. Today I'm positive. So I'm hoping they're going to open up the rest of the geos Thursday, which is tomorrow. And I think I can crush it this weekend because now I got some pretty good ads, some good ad sets. I kind of know exactly what's working, and I can just go big on the CBOs, like, $500 or $1,000 budgets and smash it. So we'll see. If
awesome.
I got to see where these these leads are disappearing to, because if I would have had 10 extra leads yesterday, I would have been pretty damn happy last night.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I was like 16% ROI, which is no big deal, considering how much I'm down on this campaign. I'm probably down over $1,200, but 16% ROI is not a lot. And that's basically just a couple leads away from being negative. So, it's like if that 10 extra leads would have made a huge difference, that would have been well into the 100% plus ROI. So, so Snapchat, you do stories. Are you doing like videos, images? What are you doing over in Snapchat?
So I kind of test everything, but really videos have been consistently working the best. And it's really entertainment focused videos to kind of grab their attention. And then you refocus them with just a quick snippet of like what you're trying to do.
Okay.
What you're trying to, what I mean? So
you do like a scroll stop time because they're usually scrolling through their stories.
Yeah.
And you just stop them with something funny or entertaining. And then you hit them with the offer, basically swipe up for the offer type of thing. Okay. Yeah. And the offer is lead gen, like they submit an email and a name. Is that what the offer is?
So a lot of times I'll run an advertorial in between.
Okay.
And so I will run kind of like an article that's like, it asks a question like, did you know? And then I'll try and, you can't be too general or you can't be too specific with what you say about who you're targeting. Like you can't be like women between the ages of 20 and 25 when that's what you're targeting. But you can say Americans born between this date and this date, which kind of gets them in. And then you have them read the advertorial. Then I send them to a questionnaire and then go to the lead form. And what was funny is my one client was just sending directly to the lead form. So I added all these extra steps and he's like, how is adding more steps going to increase my conversion rate? And the very first day we started running that campaign, it was profitable at the gate. I was like, oh, see, there you go. You got pre-qualify.
Well, the pre-sale page can sell them. You know what I'm saying? It can make them feel more comfortable going through the funnel. So
you got to remind them of why they need what you're offering. Because just because they need it, they may not be thinking about it right there. They were just watching cat videos or whatever they were doing on Snapchat. They're not in the mindset of, fixing their financial future or whatever it may be.
Yeah, true. It's funny because I'm running these ads up in Canada right now, and it's the wintertime. It gets dark at 5 o'clock, and I'm putting like pictures of girls with like big butts and stuff and funny stuff, the comments are like crazy, but I'm getting that engagement on the ads because people are commenting. I get some bad ones. I have to filter those out, whatever. But for the most part, I get people saying, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing when it comes to marketing." And I'm like, well, clearly I do. I'm like, you're commenting on this thing and helping me out.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it when people tell me I don't know how to market. And I'm like, okay, well then you go ahead and fire up a campaign with some stock photos and see how well it does.
Yeah, most people just assume marketing's like the old school commercials.
Right.
They don't even if you're a good marketer, they don't even realize they're being marketed to.
Exactly. I got guys like commenting, it's funny because they're Canadians, and Canadians are up there, northern, middle of winter, it's like 30 below zero, and they're funny. Their comments are funny. You know what I'm saying? Like I wake up every day, I read through the comments, I start laughing. I'm like, I reply back, and I can start joking with the guys because it's funny. But the ads are converting. So it's like whether or not you agree with my marketing style or not, it's working. So.
Yeah, like I don't have to agree with my marketing style. The only thing that matters is the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as long as it's working, it's working.
Exactly. Because it's funny the cleaner stuff. Because I'm testing I got 7 CBOs right now, actually 8 CBOs. And each CBO has 4 ads in it, basically, 2 images or 2 videos and 2 different copies. So basically, I'm testing 28 ads. And, the best performing ones are the ones I kind of knew they were going to be the best performing going in. It just, 6 cents for doing this for the last 4 or 5 years. But, the ones that are, supposedly, the real marketers would run or, an agency would run, those are doing the crappiest, for sure.
Yeah.
The click-through rate's shitty.
That's always the case.
Yeah, I know. I mean, some of the stuff I'm running right now, if I was an ad agency, I don't even think they would let me run this. You know what I'm saying? I'm an individual, I can run whatever I want, as long as Facebook approves it, But if an agency would try to show their customer what they were running, they'd probably fire them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's what's funny about that is sometimes I'll get clients that, I'd rather just run with them on ad spend so I can actually kind of see how their offer works. And then from there, maybe work out the ability to sell leads to them down the line. But a lot of times I'll come to them with an ad creative and they'll be like, what is this? This is we're running commercials on Snapchat just fine. And I'm like, okay. Is it though?
Yeah. What's your conversion rate? What's your click through?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I look at it like this. Okay. If I try to put myself in the shoes of the person that's living up in Canada. They're getting off work at 4 or 5 o'clock. They come home, it's dark already. They probably go home, drink a beer, watch some TV, and then they're playing with their laptop or their phone and they see an ad. What's going to catch their attention at 6, 7 o'clock at night when they're bored? Okay, they're Canadians. They don't live in Las Vegas like I do. They don't see what I see every weekend. So how can I bring some of Las Vegas entertainment to them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And put it in an emotional type of sparking way on a social network, which is supposed to be social. Okay. That's what most people forget. It's Facebook and even Snapchat and, Pinterest on some levels. Those are social networks. So people are not there to be sold to. They're there to be they're there to be entertained. They're on their phone to be entertained. So let's entertain these people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Be an entertainer.
Yep. That's the best way to run an ad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's shift gears off the campaigns. Both Brett and I have campaigns that are running right now. We're legit affiliates. So Brett has courses he does. I don't know if you have anything available right now. I don't really have anything for sale right now, but I might do another course later in the year. So if you guys are watching, you're interested, make sure you follow Brett's channel. I'll put a link below. Brett will put a link to my channel below as well. But let's talk about your plan for 2020. You got the forum going. You obviously have a decent YouTube following. You're probably going to get back into that a little bit, you mentioned. What's your plans for 2020?
So right now we're focusing on building our own lead gen assets. So, over the years, I've been reliant too much on a particular traffic source. And so as an example, I started with SEO and Google would make a change and then just wipe me out. Then get to, Google paid traffic and then they make a change and then you get wiped out. So this year I've really been trying to test new traffic sources, but then also use the paid traffic to build up leads, like an email list to
Sure.
then start to seed a SEO generating site as well, and just have that all together.
I got
And
you.
to kind of explain why, for example, as performance marketers, a lot of people focus on just the campaign. They don't really focus on building up something that is actually gaining equity as you're building up the property. So a great example of this is there was a marketer that built Value Penguin, which was like a credit card site. And not only were they running profitable on paid traffic, but they built it up and ended up selling it for like $100 million all in one
Wow.
go. So that's kind of my focus, is building up these assets, running the same types of offers that we're already running, but putting that in between layer of building something up.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I actually have a page ready. As soon as I get this offer stable and it's consistently, on a certain ROI for maybe 2 or 3 days, I'm going to try to slide my own ClickFunnels page in there with collecting the email before it gets to their the survey lander. So,
Yeah.
Pull that email, put it into my active campaign, even maybe zap it into my Infusionsoft. And that way I'll have, the email in 2 different CRMs. And I can, potentially sell those people either more loan offers. I can sell them, whatever, other stuff.
Yeah.
And I can do it, the affiliate marketer way with the before and after type pictures and different stuff like that that we can't run on these networks. So good idea there. I think that's definitely the route. Because I've been doing affiliate marketing for 4 years. I think you've been in the game a little bit longer, but you really don't have anything. After a campaign kind of dies out, you really have nothing. You're only really as good as your last campaign.
Exactly.
I mean, you could be one of the best affiliate marketers in the world when you're running a hot offer and it's killing it, and then that offer dies or it gets paused or whatever happens. The traffic source gets, account gets shut down, and then you have nothing. You literally have no income. You have no income, and then getting to that point again, not only could it take, it could take weeks, or it could take months. I've gone through dry spells for a number of months where I've been able to hit a profitable campaign.
Anyone in this game long enough has gone through that. Like 1 minute you're making, 100,000 a month or, whatever. And then the next it's like, okay, see if McDonald's is hiring, I guess. I
know. And we got skills too. Like we know what we're doing and it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? So like coming in as a newbie and not having the skills and the experience we had, it's even that much harder. But I think at the end of the day, it's still a viable business model. I like to treat it as like a sport. Okay. Like this is like my side gig. I told you before that I have that services business in Vegas, and that business is consistent every year. It makes me a certain amount of money. Every year I try to grow it a little bit, but that pays the bills. It allows me to go on nice vacations. It has a nice car, nice house. But the affiliate stuff is like a sport to me. I set up campaigns and it's like, I just try to it's almost like I want to beat the algorithm, or I want to get these customers to buy from me, and just because it's like a sporting event. I like to wake up and I like to check my campaigns and just see. It's kind of like guys that are addicted to trading stocks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they wake up and the first thing they're doing is trading stocks, trying to make that little buck. And it's the same way for us. I mean, it's a little bit different because you got to let stuff run a little bit throughout the day. But I go in at night, I edit my ads, I put up some new stuff, and then press play and go to sleep, and I wake up and let's see where we're at. Let's see if my decisions were fun. It's fun, man. It's like, I'm trying to tell people in 2020, I think my theme for my channel and everything is listen, do affiliate marketing because you don't have to deal with the customer service, the bullshit, sourcing products from China. Right now you're dealing with the coronavirus and the Chinese New Year, which is a whole nother can of worms. And affiliate marketing, man, you don't have to deal with any of that crap. You just send leads, you just drive traffic, and you have fun with it. And if you start being profitable, collect those emails and start playing around with some copy and sending these people 7, 8, 10 emails and trying to get them to buy more stuff from you. And then you have a nice database at the end of the day, which you can either resell or keep around and use for other offers. So, I mean, that's my advice going to people for 2020. And, I'm going to keep putting out some decent videos, and you're going to keep putting out some decent videos. Definitely follow both of us because we're not like some of the guys that are advertising on YouTube and Facebook right now. I know for a fact some of those guys don't run traffic. I know for a fact they don't run traffic.
I just had this conversation with my dad that it's a balancing act, that when you're making content, but you're also when you're actually the one running, you can't be sitting there focusing, making videos all damn day and writing content all damn day. That's why it's like we've both gone through different time periods where all of a sudden we'll disappear for a bit, and that's usually when we're running other stuff, and then we'll come back and we'll share what we've learned. And the ones
to make a really good course takes a month. You know what I'm saying? to devote like the time to, do all the slides and film it, and then you got to edit it. You're talking about a month. I mean, it's not like this is the only thing you and I are doing in that month. You know what I'm saying? Like if I could just drop everything for all 2 weeks, I could get it done, but I can't just drop everything. Unfortunately, you're the same way. You still got to pay you don't know if that course is going to sell well. You still got to get money coming in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is, man. It's a fun business. And I honestly feel like I'm like I tell people even on my channel, like, don't quit your job. Don't, if you got money coming in, keep that coming in. Learn affiliate marketing on the side. Treat it like a sport. And if you get good enough at it to where you're making enough money that you make more than your job and you got some nest egg in the bank, then maybe go with it full time. But until then, I would not recommend leaving your job ever. No way.
Especially if you're trying to run paid traffic. I've seen too many people, save up like 10 grand, quit their job and say they're going in full time. It's like, do you have a campaign that's profitable? Do you have any tools? Do you have the training?
Trust
like
me,
that 10 grand is going to go quick
in a very short amount of time.
Yeah. It's going to go quick. So
yeah, I'm in my testing phase right now, and let's see, I'm running right now in testing. I've been running this offer for 7 days, and I've already spent. Let me see what my lifetime is here. Just as my testing phase, I'm already at 6,059 and some change. So I've driven 346 leads. I'm down about, I think, about 1,200, 1,000 overall, but I got a ton of data now. I got my pixels pretty seasoned. Now I can start making data-driven decisions, and that's where I'm going to be able to start to turn this thing around. So, when you're down $1,000, it doesn't feel good, but $1,000 in our world is no big deal because
that's the barrier to entry.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know damn well, and once I get this thing turned around, I'll make that $1,000 back in a day. Once I get it turned around. So, but you still have those days when Facebook, and I'm sure Snapchat's the same way. You think you have it turned around, and you get all excited. You wake up, and it's just another crapper, and you're like, "What
Shit's
the hell happened?" Yeah. Like I did everything that I know how to do right, and it still just didn't produce what I thought it was going to produce. So, that's I tell people these are living, breathing machines. These campaigns, you're literally you're tinkering with a drag race car. Okay, you're constantly playing with the gas, and you're playing with the the carburetor, and you might swap out the radiator. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's just like you're tinkering with this machine because it's constantly like in and out, in and out, in and out. So it's like a full-time job. I mean, I don't know how guys are running multiple. Like I run one. Usually I'll run one big campaign at a time. Sometimes I'll take on two, but any more than that, man, it's not even realistic, because you're doing too much, by the time you're, setting more ads up, because you're always having to try new ads. You're always trying to beat your best one. And it's just a constant flow. You're spying on people. It's just a lot of work, and yeah. I work a lot of hours, and I know you do too. We both probably do a consistent, 12.
Well, just last night, what was it, like 3 a.m.? I was like, you still up? Yep, got a campaign. Yeah, me too, man.
And I was up till 6 a.m. last night with my developer trying to figure out a bug in my Infusionsoft. So, yeah, and I slept like 5 hours, and here I am, round two. I wanted to, I went to the affiliate summit. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to touch on. I went to the affiliate summit West. I'm out here in Vegas. It was very kind of disappointing, honestly, man. I think that these summits, these events are starting to lose their luster with people because the vendors don't want to pay all this money to have a booth because it costs a lot of money to bring their whole staff. Set up those booths are expensive. I know they have to pay a hefty fee to the union labor and to the affiliate summit West group themselves. And I think what's happening is they're just not getting the the return on their investment. So like every year that these events keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking as far as like the amount of vendors. I think the amount of people that still go to them is pretty good, but the vendors are shrinking. And I was really disappointed. I'm going to probably post a video either before or after this video one of the days and just show some B-roll I took a B-roll of the whole event, which I went late in the day on the last day, which was Wednesday, but you'll see that there wasn't much action going on, man. It was pretty limited on what was there. There wasn't one single vendor that I hadn't heard of that had a booth at the.
That's probably one of the reasons they're not showing up anymore. They're kind of saturated,
Yeah, I mean,
the people going there, it's the same people over and over. Yeah.
It's the same people in the same companies. There's I don't see a lot of new innovation in our world as far as you have affiliate networks and you have trackers and you have traffic sources. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
You don't really see, as the internet's starting to mature a little bit now, you don't really see new people starting affiliate networks that much. And you don't really see new traffic sources coming out that much. It's kind of it's just kind of a stale industry. It's kind of reached its maturity stage, in my opinion. So, And I saw Traffic and Conversion Summit, which has always been a big event in San Diego. They had a booth at this event at the Affiliate Summit West, probably trying to get people to go to their event because I don't think they're selling that event out anymore. They used to at one time. It was like hard to get tickets toward the end. Now I think, dude, every ad on YouTube is like Ryan Dice trying to sell a Traffic Conversion Summit. Like, listen, I don't need to see Ryan Dice anymore. I already bought my tickets. Take me off.
Some bad retargeting right there.
Yeah, exactly. Take me off. The problem is I think I'm on like 2 different email lists for them, like 2 different emails. So, but all good, man. Well, I don't want to make this too long. So anything you want to close out with this this video? What's up next for the Brett Dunn YouTube channel?
Man, hopefully I could get this campaign rocking. I can start showing some Snapchat stuff again.
Again? Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. Like I've been waiting to put out another product. I did get the 2020 ClickBank Platinum, but I'm not even running ClickBank right now. So, it'd be kind of stupid to put out a product about ClickBank, but I'm not really running that. I'm looking more for something a little more long-term right now in terms of my campaigns, and I'm sure you are too. It's like you get sick of setting up these campaigns and then have Facebook take down your account or Snapchat or whatever. Like I really want to go like white hat, and just like focus, optimize, take all my skills and focus all my energy on getting a white hat campaign and maybe a long-term campaign. Something like a good lead gen campaign with a good buyer. You could potentially run that for 6 months or a year or even longer.
Well, even if you build up your own site, make your own offer and have a bunch of buyers on the back end, that's how you maintain that forever. Because now you got 2 valuable assets. You got the data, you got the site, and you got the buyer list.
Yeah, and that site's a sellable asset.
Exactly.
So for those of you guys watching, make sure you start building those sellable assets. I preach this on my channel as well. So all good, brother. Well, thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, you as well.
All right, bro. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.